is justice delayed. Tell me about it. I just got a letter saying that I got my rights violated 7 months ago. No shit. Where was my So after 6 months of kangaroo shows, where's my justice delayed? Justice denied. When am I going to get my hearing for my contempt charge? I gotta go start the shower. Give me a second. I'll be right back.
Yes, it would be nice to know when that hearing's coming, and also other hearings, but I think there's something a little more slimy going on here too, because the scheduling at this last motion hearing, let's listen to that first, and then I'll explain what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's why I'm not saying it today. So
they get to jerk me around.
No, they're not jerking you around. And we have April 15th will also be a trial setting conference. And the date I'm suggesting for trial is June 17th. My trial start is June 17th. My trial start is June 17th. My trial start on Tuesday. And we have that week.
It can't be any sooner? I'd like to start at April 16th.
So the speed trial time in your case runs August 11th. So I just have to set it by that date. I'm actually doing almost 2 months before that. So
I appreciate it.
All right.
In Your Honor, I will note that I did speak to the victim, and that date is a conflict for them for something they already have that's already been
It's my rights.
rescheduled.
Oh, you just knew that right off the top of your head? That exact date, 2 months in the future, that you already talked to her about? Give me a break. And what was it for? For something that she already has that's going on? What the fuck? Liar, dude. This lady's a big fat liar. Rachel Stiles, you're a big fat liar. What I heard.
Defendant's rights overrule theirs.
So your right is by August 11th.
So they just need to look at their calendar. So
Yeah, that's why I'm not saying it today. So
they get to jerk me around.
No, they're not jerking you around.
They've been jerking. I'm sitting here in orange handcuffs for showing a government website.
So, Mr. Myers, the victim also has rights under the
Not
victim.
the victim. I'm the victim.
Hold on. The victim has rights under the Arizona Constitution.
Alleged
They really like to talk about those victims' rights, but he's right. Look how many there are. Yep, this is what they're going to rely on. Check this out. To have all rules governing criminal procedure and the admissibility of evidence in all criminal proceedings protect victims' rights, and to have these rules be subject to amendment or repeal by the legislature to ensure the protection of these rights. Oh my God. They can literally not allow something just because they think it's going to hurt the victim. The fake victim. And here's the thing, on this victim rights thing, they actually have a definition of the word victim. And guess who was right? Lane Myers, without no books or anything, no dusty law books. Check this out. A victim is a person against whom the criminal offense has been committed. There hasn't been a criminal offense committed. He's innocent still. He hasn't done it yet. If the person is killed or incapacitated, the person's spouse, parent, child, or other lawful representative, except if the person is in custody for an offense or is the accused. Except if the person is in custody for an offense or is the accused. Except. Wow. Here's another one that will probably mean more to Lane, but the legislature or the people by initiative or referendum have the authority to enact substantive and procedural laws to define, implement, preserve, and protect the rights guaranteed to the victim in this section, including the authority to extend these to any juvenile proceedings. I don't know, man. I feel like they're going to try to fuck him with this shit.
Let's use the right language here.
It's
Alleged
the word.
victim.
The word is victim in the Constitution.
It says right here, alleged victim.
All right.
I
That's
would
not
prefer-
that's not a finding.
So you're
It's
saying
just-
that by saying that it doesn't indicate that you've already determined she's the victim? Because it
I haven't-
bothers me to hear somebody call somebody a victim who hasn't even been convicted.
That's just it's a legal term of art
Is
under
it
the
alleged
Arizona
victim?
It's not called alleged victim in the Arizona That doesn't. I don't say that before the jury.
Okay.
That's just like you're called the defendant.
Mm-hmm.
The state is called the state. They're just
I'm Lane Myers.
they're just labels. You're Lane Myers, but in legal things you're the
I'm not
defendant.
a defendant. I'm a victim
Okay, so
of unlawful prosecution.
so we set this. I'd like to set it for June 17th, but we'll have to see if that works for everybody. If not, then I'll set it in July. All right. Look at my list here.
How many days?
So it would
Okay, I don't know. It might be too late, but so like you said, June 17th. If not, I'll set it for this or that, or sometime after June. What are the chances that uh, there was a case that out of one of the ones he got dismissed? What are the chances that one of those got dismissed without prejudice, and that the last date they can file is in June, right before June 17th? What are the chances? Okay, I know by now y'all know I'm going to show y'all, but June 9th, which is a crazy date, but June 9th, 6-9, 69, the state is allowed to refile for the O'Reilly's charges. Somebody needs to tell Mr. Myers that, because it just seems like he's not going to. Anyways, you'd be doing the public a great service, whoever talks to him, if somebody wants to tell him that. The state can refile for the O'Reilly's charges on June 9th. I don't know if he remembers that, but again, it would be a great. You'd be doing me a favor. You'd be doing the public a huge service to let Mr. Myers know that on June 9th, the state can refile the O'Reilly's charges. My bad. I think it's June 8th. June 9th would be the last time. By June 9th, it would be too late. But anytime before June 9th. Well, anyway, here's the hearing where they said that it was a
The state grants the motion.
The court.
Free Lane Myers,
Either
bitches.
the court grants, thank you. Either the court grants the state's motion to dismiss without prejudice because the essential witness is unavailable, which is what we've asked. That is not a reason to avoid the purposes of Rule 8. We have demonstrated to the court how the state's motion, because we don't have an essential witness, that we can't go forward without. That doesn't say that. And plus, if the state was doing it to avoid the purposes of Rule 8, it's the court's discretion to decide whether or not that dismissal should be with or without prejudice. We're showing that the state did not try to avoid the purposes of Rule 8 by looking at time should be excluded. And the date that we're talking about is the 30 days between Judge Mayhew's being asked to recuse herself and her recusing herself. That's 30 days that was for the defendant's benefit. It didn't help the state at all. It didn't help the court at all. This court was appointed. You, Judge Riojas, were appointed sometime between the 18th and between the 19th and the 18th of September, which is when we have this hearing. So those days.
I believe it was like August 30th and September 18th.
I'm sorry, it was August 19th through September
17th.
September
18th.
is the date that was the hearing with Mr.
Matt
Walker.
Walker. Where I destroyed him in court for the whole world
And
to
the
see.
state was not asking the court to exclude the time when Judge Cranshaw had written excluded. Sounds like it was addressed at the 18th hearing in September. But there's no actual or legal prejudice under the Quigley case that applies to this particular instance. So grant the state's motion to dismiss without prejudice. 13107 runs on June 8th of 2025. 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 If the state has not refiled the case within that time, based on good reasons, if the state would have to look at refiling the case. I mean, what the reasons would be for the state to refile the case. If there are actions taken against the state's essential witness, I'm not going to be able to predict that. But the state does ask for this dismissal without prejudice. Thank you.
Yep. This judge is fucking garbage too, man. Like how? Okay, so and he said he's going to set it 2 months in advance because it has to be on August 11th. But that's the date he picks. So it's just okay. So June 8th is the last time they can file. If they file on June 8th, it gives almost 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks, which is the exact amount of time they need, or 10 days they need for filing for it to hit. You know what I'm saying? Just so it would hit, dude. They're doing this on purpose, bro. Now the judge is in on it for sure. Here's another thing. The judge has that smooth voice, and he talked Lane away from it, but he was like, well, I don't like you calling me victim or whatever, because it seems that you're assuming that I am the victim. And he's like, no, I'm not going to tell the jury that. Who gives a fuck if you tell the jury, dude? The jury, we obviously know that it's not a bench trial and you're not going to make the decision, judge, or whatever, but if you, when he makes an emotion, or when he makes an objection, or she makes an objection, you're way more likely to sway in her direction if you think that Lane is guilty and that chick is a victim. It has nothing to do with the fucking telling the jury or accidentally saying the word victim in front of the jury. You know what I mean? It's your thoughts, your personal beliefs about the case. And if you believe she's a victim, then you believe Lane's guilty. And then whenever he objects, you're more likely to overrule it or more likely to sustain the other counsel's objections, you fucking idiot. God, man, you're a bad judge. I'm not in your courtroom. I didn't break the rules of decorum, okay? Chill out.